Good day, ma'am. I am Fatima B. Ibanez from Bachelor of Science in Criminology, Trico. And this is my video presentation discussing about the conflict theories, the theories related to gender inequality, the importance of understanding different conflict theories in dispute resolution, and the conflict resolution strategies presented in this lesson. Conflict theory. Conflict theory, first developed by Karl Marx, is a theory that society is in state of perpetual conflict because of a competition for limited resources. Conflict theory is a socio-political theory that originated with Karl Marx. It seeks to explain political and economic events in terms of an ongoing struggle over finite resources. In this struggle, Marx emphasized that antagonistic relationship between the owners of capital, whom Marx calls the bourgeois, and the working class, which he calls proletariat. Conflict theory had a profound influence on 19th and 20th century thought and continues to influence political debate to these days. Conflict theories are perspectives in sociology and social psychology that emphasize a materialist interpretation of history, dialectical method of analysis, a critical stance toward existing social arrangement, and political program of revolution or at least reform. Next, theories related to gender inequality. The theories related to gender inequality is critical theory or feminist theory. It is an approach that recognizes women's political, social, and economic equality to men. Feminist theory is the extension of feminism into theoretical, fictional, or philosophical discourse. It aims to understand the nature of gender inequality. Next, the importance of understanding different conflict theories and dispute resolution. Proper conflict resolution skills are designed to keep disagreements from escalating while continuing to discuss each point of view and eventually reach a collaborative conclusion. By using conflict resolution skill, you'll be better equipped to learn from and teach others in both professional and personal realms. The next topic is the conflict resolution strategies presented in this lesson. There are 5 conflict resolution strategies, which is avoiding, competing, accommodating, collaborating, and compromising. Avoiding is someone who uses a strategy of avoiding mostly tries to ignore or sidestep the conflict, hoping it will resolve itself or dissipate. An example of avoiding conflict resolution strategies is a change of conversation. A form of conflict avoidance is sidestepping. This is a diversionary tactic in a surefire way of ensuring no issues ever get resolved, as whenever a particular is brought up, the employee in question changes the conversation or raises other unrelated issues. Next is competing. Competing is someone who uses the conflict resolution strategies of competing, tries to satisfy their own desires at the expense of the other parties involved. For example, let's say a disgruntled customer walks into your store and begin insulting other customers unprovoked. The customer makes offensive comments and actively tries to emotionally or even physically harm other customer. This is a conflict where the best course of action is to compete with the customer. Next is accommodating. Using the strategy of accommodating to resolve conflict essentially involves taking steps to satisfy the other parties' concerns or demand at the expense of your own needs and desires. For example, now both crews are fighting and you need to step in. You employed these plumbers before and plan to hire them again. So even though they bungle the schedule, you choose to ignore it. You let them proceed and give the electrical crew the rest of the day off. Next is collaborating. Collaborating is a combination of being assertive and cooperative. Those who collaborate attempt to work with others to identify a solution that fully satisfies everyone's concerns. For example, an electrical crew may give up an afternoon of work in order to let a plumbing crew get into the site to finish their job. The electrician may have to scramble to meet their tight deadline, but the plumbing crew will appreciate the gesture and the conflict will have been resolved. And the last is compromising. The strategy of compromising involves finding an acceptable resolution that will partly but not entirely satisfy the concern of all parties involved. For example, you offer to pay 30,000 pesos for a new car, but the salesman wants 32,000. The salesman offered to throw in a premium sound system with a value of 1,500 and charge you 31,500. If you value the sound system, this might be a good deal, but if you don't, it won't help to sell the deal. That's all for today. Thank you for listening.